Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please let me know first of all, before we start this energetic shielding training, whether I'm audible, because sometimes sound may be playing up. So if you can hear me fine, give me thumbs up or let me know, and we can get started with this energetic shielding and protection mini training. Just I can see you joining from all over. Sarah says we can hear you. Happy days. I couldn't hear the sound of the intro, and I'm like, oh, can you hear me, guys? But it's all good. Oh, amazing! I can see a big group here. Some very familiar faces. Welcome, everybody, to this spontaneous training. Like Christy says that I had no idea you were live. I happened to be scrolling and saw. It's a bit of a spontaneous one. I've got slides, so I'm well prepared, but even the slides were made a bit last minute. Well, basically, I have recently discovered that most of the empaths and spiritually minded people and light workers are really inadequately shielded. And it's something that I have had some awareness of, but some people just don't even know what a spiritual shield is, or energetic shield or protection. And I feel like there's a massive gap here in the teachings of spiritual shielding and protection. And there's two types of people who need this shield. There's people who are working with energy, just like myself, working with clients, working with energy. And then there is a massive number of empaths who also constantly soak in other people's energies and don't even know that this is not a life sentence, and they don't have to be like that, and they can have quite a happy life and actually use the empathic abilities in a great number of ways. So I'm here and I'm doing this mini training with some practical part. I'll be guiding you. Not so much, I won't be putting a shield, but I'll be guiding you back to your own energy so you can feel if anything in your field is amiss. And I feel this is literally like number one skill you need to learn as a spiritual practitioner, and something that is also what most people don't teach. And this really is unfortunate, because if you think about maybe other areas of life, like for example martial arts, they teach you defense before they teach you to attack, or they even teach you how to run away first. I remember taking some Krav Maga classes years ago, and one of the things that they said was, okay, if you don't know how to defend yourself, just run. Basically, just run. That's the easiest way to defend yourself. But of course, we can't always run from situations, especially if those negative energies are coming from people, because there's two types of places where the negative energies can come from. So they can come from entities, and this is rarer, but 90% of the time they come from beautiful, not so beautiful fellow human beings. And sometimes they are very unintentional. Sometimes there is some intention as well. So I just want to raise your awareness of different shields, and also raise your awareness so you even know when something is amiss in your field, because this is the biggest obstacle I see, that many people don't even know when something is wrong with the energetic field, because they don't know what it feels like when everything is right, and then they're in total sovereignty. So today I'm going to guide you in an exercise whereby you will return back to your own energy. And I also teach you a protocol that all of my and Aaron's students and clients probably know by heart. But if you have never heard of the disconnection sovereignty protocol, then this will be something that I want to teach you, because that will make your work with client, or your work as a client with someone, so much cleaner. So let's get started. So first of all, let me know if maybe you are an empath, because if you're an empath, then there will be a special part of this training here for you. Christy C said that me being a very sensitive empath, I've been wondering if that is why my legs and hip hurts so bad on some days more than others. Not sure whether negative energies can be linked to physical pain. I'm sure that all things can happen, but listen to what is your body telling you. And of course, check if there's any underlying actual health issues, because it's not always energy. Sometimes it's something else. So I think that's Joe. Is that you, Joe? I recognize the surname. You are an empath, and Sneha is an empath. Okay. So, of course, this training is not just for empaths, but I just want to tell to those of you who are sensitive what you can do about it. Anne is an empath. Melanie is also an empath, like a sponge. Okay, like a sponge. And yeah, okay. Lotus, I think that Roxanne, I'm super sensitive. I think I might get angry when others are angry. The collective affects me too much. So this is definitely one of the empathic abilities. But what I want to tell you, which is super important, and I don't feel again anybody really talks about it, is that being an empath is not all about negative energy or being sensitive to energy. It also has some amazing perks, including clairsentient abilities. So if we just seem to be thinking about empaths just absorb negative energy like a sponge. But that's only part of the truth. It's not just negative energies. As an empath, you can tune in to the most positive energy with more ease too. So please do not ever think that being an empath or being sensitive is some life sentence and you are completely like at a disadvantage. In fact, I want to show you how to use your empathic abilities as an advantage. And if you could consider sharing this live stream forward so that other empaths can hear this message, I would be really, really grateful, because this is one of the biggest myths about being an empath, is literally that you just do negative energies, you absorb negative energies as a sponge. Nothing further from the truth. As an empath, you've got ability to tune into all energies. The problem is, most of the energies that we connect with and we surrounded by tend to be negative because of the collective consciousness of humanity, which is vibing quite low in general. It's happening, it's changing, it's moving in the right direction, but still, as we here doing this training in 2022, we've got a way to go. So, however, there are environments, there are places and situations which are full of very high vibrational positive energy. And as an empath, you can charge up from this energy too. And in fact, it can become overwhelming on the positive side. But for you, you may not even know what polarity this energy is, because it will just feel like an overwhelming energy. So for me, this is something that I've started experiencing since I was in my early 20s on football stadiums. My father was a football referee. My husband is a big football fan. We used to live in Manchester and had a season ticket for Old Trafford. Actually, it was at the end of our street, so we used to go to a lot of Man United games. And, you know, I think the stadium's got something like 70,000 people. And this is massive, massive atmosphere. And I would break down in tears every single time. And the same started happening when we lived in South Wales and we went to Welsh rugby games. And again, I'm not Welsh. I'm not even, you know, and I was always getting choked up hearing the national anthem. And I was like, that's not my homeland. This is not my country. Why am I getting so emotional about it? This is because I was picking up on this high frequency energies of all this kind of joy and excitement and enthusiasm. And I've done video on TikTok yesterday talking about it, and there's so many of empaths who feel exactly the same when they feel this sensory overload in big places, even if it's positive. So there's some people who said I stopped going to church because, you know, churches are energetic bubbles. When people pray and worship, that's mostly very good energy, but it's very heightened energy. So this will get you there. So that is something to be aware of. But please know that being an empath has an amazing perk, because if you just learn how to tune in your receiver so that you receive the right types of energy, rather than me receiving energies from the environment which may be negative, you can also tune in your receiver to any place you want with your intention. So you can, for example, connect to the collective consciousness of spiritual teachers. You can connect to energies of ascended masters. You can connect to the energies of Arcturians or Pleiadians, and then your energy is being elevated and instantly flooded with positivity rather than negativity. And it actually lifts you up. But that's just one part of it. I still feel that shielding and protection is paramount for empaths and anyone working with energy. Because for me, I feel like, yes, there will be situations where you can be powered up by like the collective vortex. This is why we sometimes do group meditations or group sessions, as very often when we gather in a group and let's say connect to the Arcturians or the Pleiadians. This is something we do in the Quantum Club, my weekly membership classes. It gets easier to connect in a group than it does for an individual. So this absolutely can serve you a purpose. If you in a group, it's no different than being a football stadium. You're being carried within this group energy and you connect easier. However, shielding and protection is very important in this connection. This is another thing that not many people teach. Whenever we do any group sessions, we always come back to sovereignty and disconnection at the end of every session. This is why, for example, sometimes people come with us after having really bad experiences with plant medicine. Not because plant medicine is a bad thing, it's a wonderful thing and wonderful tool. But if they don't disconnect and they swim in those frequencies of everybody purging, they can take some other people's stuff on if it's not managed properly. So shielding and protection is paramount, and returning back to your sovereignty. This is why I'll be leading you in this going back within yourself, because yes, you can use collective energies to your benefit, like a collective consciousness vortex, to connect easier, to have a stronger experience. But at some point, there will be a time and place for that. But most of the time, you should spend in your own sovereign energy and nobody else's. Same when you're working with clients. Lotus says, can we disconnect from co-workers with our consciousness too, or do we have to flush them out? You can disconnect. So I'll tell you how to disconnect. I don't think if you're just working with someone, it's not the same as when you're working energetically with someone. So if you, let's say, working on a project at your work, and it's not the type of energetic work, it's slightly different. If you're working in a client's energy field, let's say you're a tarot reader, Reiki healer, channel, like even intuitive business consultant like I am, I work on consciousness fields of people and businesses. I always go back to sovereignty. And to be fair, there's also a transmission right here on this YouTube channel, which you can check after this transmission, which is like a cord releasing ritual. This is a healthy thing to do, maybe every evening, to disconnect from everybody else and come back to yourself. And I'll lead you to something similar today, just so you feel how it feels like to be in your and only your energy. And another thing to remember is that prevention is better than cure. So what I'm trying to instill in you is a little bit of energetic health and safety. Some techniques and practices that are very, very important. And when it comes to shielding, again, like, it's such a necessary but very unpopular skill to teach. And I've seen and I've experienced a lot of spiritual teachers saying, well, you don't need to teach shielding, which is all love and light, and we'll be vibing high, and if you're vibing high, nothing can attach to you. I feel that this is only partially true, in a way that, yes, when you lower your vibration, and you may be lowering your vibration throughout the day, you get annoyed, you get sad, you get some news, etc., you're more vulnerable then. Or maybe if you're coming down with some physical sickness, you will be more vulnerable. But even if you are still in vibing high, there are some nasty entities and people out there. And it's not just a case of shifting to a different timeline where it doesn't exist. If something's already attached to you, you need to disconnect it. And I've witnessed it time and time again. I don't feel like I'm particularly vibing low, or it will. And another thing is, very often as people who, the higher you vibing, the more likely you actually to become a target from those who are actually really looking for the dark side. So that is that is really, really, really important. And this is one of the first things we teach our students. In our membership Quantum Club, this is something we drill into everyone. We've had lots of sessions which are now in the vault, which are labeled energetic health and safety. There's Syrian shielding, there is all the protocols, all the advanced shielding, because this is something that's just under-taught. This is something that's under-instructed. And just my premise is that pretending that the dark side does not exist, or that there is no danger, it doesn't take the danger away. It's more beneficial to be aware that something may happen, just so that you do not let it happen. It's not all love and light. What it is frequency freeways. As people, we constantly attach and exchange energy with one another. When we start connecting to higher realms, we exchanging energy with other beings. It's super important to be aware that it's not all love and light. So, even in the quantum multiverse, you've got beautiful races of light, such as the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Syrians. I've just had a session with a client, and we connected to 3 races. She was practicing channeling. She unlocked 3 light languages. We connected to Arcturians, to Pleiadians, to Orions, and we had beautiful experience. But it was all in a safe environment. However, if you don't know who you're connecting with, if you're not familiar with those frequencies, you may experience negativity. And I've seen a lot of this happening, especially to newly awakening starseeds, when they think that they may be connecting to Arcturians, but they don't even know what Arcturian frequency feels like. And actually, it's not Arcturians. And we had this one striking example where there was a young person who was being instructed by these entities to perform some rituals on his body. Beings of light will never, ever, ever invade your privacy like that. They will not tell you to start doing something that will be harmful. This is why it's super important to learn that it's not all love and light. That even if you do experience the negative polarity, even if you do experience races such as draconians or reptilians who are out there, I've had draconians try to bully me and try to connect to me and let me become the spokesperson. I told them to go away in no uncertain terms. But if I didn't know who they were, I would just become like completely vulnerable, like a limb lettuce, a prey to these frequencies. So it's better to be aware than not to be aware. It's the same way as, we can pretend that in civilized society, things like murders and rapes do not exist. But would you really go into your town or city center wearing nothing but your bikini? Or maybe even being completely naked? You wouldn't. You would dress yourself so maybe you don't attract attention. So in the same way, we need to dress ourselves properly for all our quantum journeys. But we also need to practice good hygiene day to day, such as disconnecting all the cords. and bonds and attachments that have been created between people during the course of the day, even unconsciously. Because yes, there can be some negative intention, but there can also be some energies that just basically are energies of attachment, and it's still not ours. So we can send them back to whoever they come from and take our property, our ownership of our energy back to ourselves. So, it's no different than putting clothes on and brushing your teeth in the morning, or maybe in the evening too. So just think about energetic health and safety in the same way as you're thinking of dressing your body in clothes and giving your teeth a brush a couple of times a day, or maybe after every meal. Well, I prefer after every meal, and this is how I do it after every session. I'm disconnecting. So another point I want to raise before I guide you into this sovereignty temple back into your own energy is it always definitely external energy? This is one of the things that we need to distinguish, because sometimes if we're feeling a little bit off, something is not quite right, something doesn't feel right, it doesn't always mean that it's some external energy. Maybe something external triggered something in us, and we may be purging something. Maybe we're releasing densities. Maybe we coming up with anger at some ancestral story or something like that. So the better you know your field, the more awareness you have of what is actually happening, the easier it will become for you to even recognize, is it external energy, or is it your own energy maybe shifting, purging, something happening along these lines? But in order to know where the energy is coming from, is it something coming from the outside? You need to know what it feels like to be completely in your own energy. And this is why I'm going to guide you right now. Before we cover a few more shielding techniques, before we go on with shielding, I want to do a very brief exercise for you, which I called Your Sovereignty Temple. This is something that's been channeled through in one of my recent sessions with an individual client who had a challenge recognizing what is hers energy-wise and what comes from outside and what is other people's ideas. So that sovereignty temple will help you with protection, but it will also help you with discernment. It will help you with knowing what it feels like to be in your own energy. You will feel empowered in this exercise as well. It will be brief but very powerful. And in order to do this, I want you to put your feet in the ground. Do not lie down. Stay in your conscious mind. You can keep your eyes closed or open, however you prefer. But maybe keeping your eyes closed will help you. So this will be a little energetic exercise that I want to give to you to come back to your own space whenever you are ready. So what I want you to do is start breathing in deeply, but in a normal tempo. So just start filling your body with air, with oxygen, and just breathing in. You are withdrawing your senses from the external world, and you're going deep, deep, deep within. You are entering a state of calm consciousness. And right now, just imagine that there is a temple inside of your heart. So move your attention, move your point of attention within your chest area, within your heart area. And there may already be a space there, which is your innermost sanctuary. But if there isn't, we're going to construct it. So instruct your higher self to put a place in the quantum field where you can withdraw from the outside world, which is filled in with just your essence. And this will be a place where you can't take anything else apart from your pure essence. This place is being built for you, and it has a key code which is unlocked only with your pure essence, with who you truly are. There is no space there for any negative energy. Only you can enter. So on the way into this space, you will have to leave behind any attachments, any energies that do not belong to you, any bonds, ties, cords, anything whatsoever that is linking you to anybody else, any energy that's not yours. When you're entering this space, you will feel like what it means to be in your own pure energy, in your own pure, unaltered essence. Beautiful. So take 3 deep breaths through your heart, which means that you're breathing in and imagining the air going straight into your heart. Do it 3 times. And after that, when you are ready, enter the sacred sanctuary where you are totally on your own and in your own essence. You will hear my voice, but I'm not entering there with you. You will hear it like it's in the distance because you are there completely in your own essence. And now feel what it feels like to be in your inner sanctuary. Feel what it feels like to be without any negative energy, attachment, any external influence. Feel what it feels like to be you. Breathe in deeply through the belly and through the heart as you hold space in this sacred sanctuary, in your sovereignty temple. Knowing that you can always go back here whenever you've got a difficult decision to be made, whenever you're trying to discern something. Feel what it feels like to be totally in your own space, totally in your sovereignty. You may actually feel a rush of energy, a feeling of reconnection, a homecoming. I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds so that you can really absorb and enjoy this energy of your sovereignty temple. And then whenever you're ready to come back cleansed, as if you have come back just from a beautiful bath. And keep your essence intact as you're coming back to your body, to the third dimension. And as I am removing also any cords, bonds or ties or attachments that may have been created between us in this energetic experience, as we all come back here into this transmission, but in a complete and utter sovereignty. So you can start breathing in more dynamically now. You can start feeling more energized. And whenever you're ready, let me know what it felt like for you to be in your sovereignty temple, in your pure energetic space. What was different? What did you experience? Come back and let me know. We still have some ground to cover in this mini training, but I just wanted you to experience this so that you've got it as a gift for life, so that you can always go back there anytime and you know how to do it yourself. Donna says she felt peace and tingles. Roxanne says heart felt more tender. That's interesting. Maybe that means that you have to put your heart, a little bit more on guard when you're outside. Sarah says felt very calming and soothing, so magical. Benoit says excitement. Yeah, you can feel a rush of energy sometimes in that space. Peaceful, says Melanie. And Donna says, thank you, you're welcome. Dorica says bliss, secured, calm, relaxed, delight. It feels calm, quiet, and peaceful, says Kaylee. Christine says, I felt something touch me on top of my head onto my neck and a hug rush of beautiful energy. Whatever it was absolutely beautiful. That could only have been your higher self, Christine. Nothing else. I had an extension in my heart space. I'm not sure if it really worked. And if you don't know how to do it, just repeat it. It does kind of, it is your space. So it's always there. You don't need anybody else. Just maybe do it quietly in your own time. Don't even need my guidance. Just imagine there's a temple inside your heart and just feel what it feels like to be you. So that's something that you can do. That was amazing. What a gift. Suffering kidney stones and you made me feel relief. Oh, thank you so much. That's not me. That's your higher self. That's your own space. And guys, for this, you don't need anybody else. It's just you. So I'll show you some shielding techniques in a second that you can use. But this is just you. Mel Salam Mel, thank you dearly for that. Very peaceful, my head tingling. So this is your own pure energy. What you're experiencing here is like Joe says, felt the energy of me when I'm 100%. That is you. So, guys, I do lots of things where, I channel Pleiadian energy or Arcturian energy. But this is your energy. What is your pure essence? This is what it feels like. So that's that. Sherry says, thank you. The time didn't exist there. It was amazing. So that is a place you can always go back to. You don't need anybody else. You don't need any guidance. Although if you want to, you can go through this exercise we've done, replay this part of the transmission. You're more than welcome to do so. But this is your space. And this is something that doesn't require any external connection. Everybody's got that space, which is just pure and unaltered you. Katie says, are you giving out this meditation? I mean, the steps for it. Just connect to this YouTube channel. It's all open. Maybe I should record it and put it on Insight Timer or something like that. I will consider doing this. If I do it, this will be free of charge and I'll prepare it. But give me some time to actually make it, because I'm quite busy with recordings of other stuff. But yeah, if you feel like that would be helpful, if I do something like that, I'm more than happy to do it, because I feel like this is a very important part of energetic shielding, is actually feel like what it feels like to be in your energy. So then you can compare anything else that is happening throughout the day to this energetic space when you are in your temple. So that is that. So now when it comes to various shielding techniques, There are hundreds of various shielding techniques available, and you can choose your own. So one thing is knowing what it feels like to be in your own self, and the other thing is being protected. So Kaylee says, when I do this, I'm protected from other energy that is not mine. When you go to this space, nothing else can enter. So this is your refuge in a way. If you can maintain this state whilst you are interacting with the outside world, you will feel like other energies are sticking less. Whether this is going to be easy or not, I'm not sure. This may not be that simple. This is why we've got other shielding techniques available. So every race of beings, Sirians, Pleiadians, Arcturians, all the beings of light that I work with, they have various shields. And these simple techniques, like shielding yourself in your own light, for example, or going back to this temple, or holding your own essence, they will be good for day to day. And another day to day shield that I use is a shield from, and I'm going to blow it up, from the Syrians. I've been working recently with a client who I've installed that in, and it was a business client. She said, I have to update you on something. Last Saturday, I went to a concert. I didn't know how big it would be, but basically, I spent the whole evening amidst 20,000 people, and I wasn't the least bothered. That Syrian shield is impeccable, so powerful. In the past, I would have died of pain before I've entered the concert queue. This time, I didn't feel a thing. So this is Syrian shielding. So you may be wondering why and how to put that Syrian shielding in. For those of you who have the ability to connect to the Syrians, all you've got to do, connect to the Syrians and basically ask for shielding, and they will know what to do. You can receive it in the frequency with your intention. I usually channel it in within Syrian light language, but if you can connect to the Syrians, please ask them for shielding. It will really help you in day-to-day situations. So this is like a very simple set and forget job. You don't have to do it. Once the Syrian shielding is in place, it protects you from any negative energies, but doesn't stop you expressing yourself outwards, doing whatever you need to do. So this is something that we highly recommend. This is something for all of our students in the Quantum Club. They receive it, and it's all recorded in the vault. So if you maybe newly joined the Quantum Club, you can go through the Syrian shielding and put it in. So, okay, there's a lot of questions flying in here. I never knew but I don't channel. Well, if you can learn how to connect to Syrians, you don't even have to channel, just connect. It's not that you have to be passing information. It's just more like a communication, like a connection. Katie is asking, how can I develop speaking light language? I did it once in my house and I was shocked. Well, you've got it now. If you've already spoken it, it's just dropping the conscious mind guard and letting the language flow. But light language, totally separate subject, something I teach in the light language course, is something that I teach in the Quantum Club. I don't want to kind of put a light language now in the mix because it is a massive subject. And today I want to tell you a little bit more about shielding. So Syrian shielding is one of my favorites, something I've got around me. But this is good for day to day. There's other more advanced techniques for more advanced users available. And for those of you guys who don't work with energy, who are not light workers, who are not connecting to people, not working with energy, something like a Syrian shield and astral shield, that's another thing that I forgot to put on the slides, but I've just remembered it after I've uploaded the slides. We often call the Syrian shielding a day shield, and then we have a separate shield for astral plane, because astral shielding is another very important aspect of shielding. Very often, even if you're very well protected at daytime, when you're in your sleep, you're vulnerable. And this is why often you may feel drained, you may feel tired. and you feel like your life force energy is leaking out. We've been attacked in the astral planes by other practitioners who are not of the light. So astral shielding is a separate nighttime shield. Again, it's also a set and forget job, but we've noticed that astral shielding can wear off. So it's something you may need to renew from time to time. If you're interested in like a full training on astral shielding and putting the shield itself, that is within the Quantum Club, which is our weekly membership class, which is got over 100 different classes, and advanced shielding techniques is one, and then the astral shielding is the other, because shielding is literally a massive subject. However, it depends what you need. It's the same way as, maybe like I live in Costa Rica, I live in a hot climate, so I don't need a jacket or a scarf or gloves or a hat. I'm just here in my t-shirt. But if you are going to my home country, Poland, in winter, you need to dress yourself properly. So depending on what you need, there's different shielding techniques. So if you're working with energy, definitely you need more shielding than just the basic ones. But if you just day-to-day empath, I reckon your own sovereignty, Syrian shielding, and maybe astral shielding, and that's all you will ever need. So there are more advanced techniques for more advanced users, such as dragon shielding, which is shielding yourself with fire, reflective shields, so you can create intention within your shielding that will be reflecting any negative energy back to whoever is doing whatever negative energy. But the reflective shielding I'm not a big fan of, because what can happen is it's being sent to you and you're reflecting it back onto them, and this bad stuff perpetuates, and it may kind of aggravate the situation. Whereas transmutation shields is something amazing. So someone's sending you negative energy and you transmute it into gold, and it actually powers you up. As in, like, when I mean gold, I mean positive energy. So there is many shields available, and if you are a quantum practitioner, your imagination is the limit of what you can do. One of the ways anybody can do, no matter what your skills are, is connect to whoever your guides are. They could be Galactic guides, they could be angels, they could be ascended masters, and ask them for shielding. They will help you. They'll be more than happy to put shielding around you, and you will feel better. So I'm just going to now cover some of your questions. So how often do you have to do the shielding? Every morning, Bonnie. I would say if you do Syrian shielding, it's a set and forget job, so you don't have to do it daily. Astral shielding, I would say maybe once every few weeks. I think, Bonnie, you now in the Quantum Club, so you can go to the vault. There's all the there's an energetic health and safety section there. I would do the astral shielding and I would do the Syrian shielding, and you'll be good for a few weeks. And then if you feel like maybe it's wearing off, the Syrian won't wear off, but the other one will, then you may want to renew it. Syrian shielding, you don't need to renew it. You just sometimes need to wash it. It's a little bit like it protects you, but it's like a glass that someone may be throwing tomatoes and you may need to wash the window. So sometimes you just, inspect it, cleanse it with light, cleanse it with frequency, and it's all good. Lotus says, how can you tell when you're being attacked? You will have no doubt. Things start going wrong. You start feeling disconnected. You start experiencing niggles, problems. And I've got a like an inbuilt detection system, which I'm not going to share here live because this is my way of telling. Everybody will have one. There will be a way when you will know. You will just have the sense of knowing that you're being attacked. But best way for being attacked is to do an elimination process. So have a look of, okay, is it, first of all, if things are off, I'm asking, is it me? Is it internal or is it external? Then, next step, if it's external, is it being sent on purpose or is it being sent unconsciously? And then when you feel like it's on purpose, then the next thing is, who is it coming from? But again, Roxanne, there is, I think it was session 46 in the Quantum Club, which is about spiritual attacks. We'll probably repeat something in January, which will be all about shielding, protection, like a whole day just of energetic health and safety. But you can head there and you will have more information about this attacks. That is, again, another totally separate subject. I don't want to go into spiritual attacks because I'll be here for 3 days talking about spiritual attacks. Star of Light, I would love to learn about astral shield because I live in a negative place that a lot of bad ET energy is passed. Well, I would love to invite you inside the Quantum Club. I'm going to send a link at the bottom here if you want to join us. Then there is a whole training of this astral shielding. And I welcome you to explore it. If this is something of interest, then you obviously have also our support. I'll explain about the Quantum Club in a second for those of you who are interested in learning further and furthering your spiritual development skills. But let me just explain some questions. What about when you know that someone specific is sending particularly harmful energy towards a loved one? Okay, so this is an interesting subject because you can help defend your loved one. However, it would be good to have that person's consent. So if your loved one is being attacked, you by all means can help them. This is what we do as spiritual practitioners, especially my husband. When people come to him, they very often under some attack. And you can do a great variety of things with that. You can deflect that energy. You can move yourself in the quantum field. You can absorb this energy. These are very advanced things here, and I don't want to give too many spiritual protection against attacks on a public life for one reason. I'm almost sure that there will be some wonky practitioner at some point listening to this or watching this live. I don't want to give my protection techniques away in a public space. We teach it inside our membership a little bit more. We do it sometimes in client sessions, but often when we even work on clients removing these things, we work in silence, not even putting words on it, because we've got many different things in our arsenal. You can develop your own. You can try various things. One thing for sure, please know, Sneha, that you have the ability with your consciousness to dissipate any negative energy, sometimes with the power of your intention. Some people are more persistent with the attacks. I've had a saga which have lasted for around 18 months with someone being so persistent. It's thankfully over. I actually appealed it to a higher instance. That's another interesting subject. There are beings of light, even higher than like Turians or Pleiadians or Syrians, that it wasn't that we couldn't defend it. We were just so tired of constantly having to defend, deflect, which is very distracting. So you, first of all, just take courage. Secondly, after this live, I will post a link to a free class on those spiritual attacks. This may help you, but most of all, just take courage and know that it's gonna be okay. So Kaylee is asking, where can I find the Quantum Club? I've posted the link here at the bottom as the Architects of Destiny, the Quantum Club, or there is a shortened link, bit.ly Quantum Club. Oh, sorry, not Quantum Club, bit.ly Galactic Club. So this is incorrect. So ignore this. This is the right link here. The little one that I've posted is not correct. But let me tell you a little bit about what we actually have coming up in the Quantum Club, because we've got an exciting workshop coming on the 10th of November. It's going to be called the Quantum Portal. It will be a full-day workshop within the Quantum Club. So the Quantum Club will meet every week, but once a quarter, we have this big day where we have a full day worth of training. And some of you who are already in the Quantum Club, you have it included in your membership, and I can't wait for you to experience what we've prepared. So It will be a workshop for mainly star seeds and earth seeds, and it will be called the Quantum Portal, where you will learn how to get in and out of the quantum field effortlessly, because all these advanced skills like shielding, protection, it's all linked to your ability to navigate the quantum field. You practice connecting to various galactic races of light, including the Sirians, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians. You will get to know unique frequencies of those nations. You will have some upgrades and channel light language activations. You understand dimensions and safe travel destinations, because we're all about safety within the Quantum Club. And last but not least, you will learn psychic protection techniques and receive advanced energetic shielding that I've mentioned. So the session 1 in the morning will be quantum instruction, which will be all the basics. What is the quantum field? How to reach it with your consciousness? How to navigate your way around the quantum field? How to open to higher dimensions? Then we practice what we've just learned, and we will have a channeled immersion, and quantum drills will be learning how to get in and out of the quantum field effortlessly. Session 3 will be advanced energetic shielding. So what I've just here given you a taste of will take you to the next level. We'll get you dressed in armor for your quantum journey. You will receive detailed health and safety briefing, practical shielding techniques to ensure your consciousness travels to safe destinations, and you have only great experience in the spiritual realm. And in session 4, you will receive a map to the quantum multiverse. Not so much receive, but experience. We'll go together to the Arcturians, to the Pleiadians, to the Sirians, and you will learn how to connect to them under the guidance of me and my husband Aaron. So how can you join this workshop and the Quantum Club? It is very simple. The link is here in the chat. Is thearchitectsofdestiny.com, the Quantum Club. And as a Quantum Club member, you will learn to elevate your consciousness to the quantum field and higher dimensions, connect to light beings such as the Arcturians, the Sirians, the Lyrans, the Andromedans. We've got over 12 different races, the Orions, the Galactic Federation, Lemurians, and Atlanteans. Learn to recognize differences between energetic signatures of different galactic light beings. And what is included in your membership? So you've got access to what we call the best Jedi School of Light in existence, and indexed vote of 90 session recordings. I think 4 or 5 of them sessions are exactly on shielding, astral shielding, but there is, sessions about the Arcturians, session about how to channel, session about how to heal animals with Andromedan energy. There's now 90 hours of recorded content. Plus, every week, every Thursday, we meet live. So you've got access to 4 live sessions every month, and a thriving, beautiful, supportive community of starseeds, as well as us in a private support group. It's a no contract, cancel anytime type of offer. And you will obviously get access to the Quantum Portal live workshop, as well as recordings of 2 previous workshops, which one was on starseeds, the other one was a Dragon Day, where we were connecting to Dragon frequency. And all of that and more for $111 a month. The membership is now on offer. Normally it's $222 up until the workshop, up until the 10th of November. We have this special price. But in the meantime, you have over 90, probably 100 hours of content to experience. It's all very immersive. It's all very experiential. It's not just theory. We're channeling upgrades. We're channeling activations. We're meeting every single week on Thursday, and Thursday is the best day because it's the Quantum Club day. So I just wanted to share with you some of the feedback we've received from people who've been with us for a while now. So Cheryl says, I have been the Quantum Club member since the very beginning, and it's fantastic. I love working with Aaron Ria. I totally recommend. Roxanne, who's here with us recently, said, I'm a new Quantum Club member. I've already received physical healing from transmissions. You won't regret joining. When you join, check out Quantum First Birthday Surprises. Yeah, we had first birthday last year. We've been going on for 2 years. And that birthday surprise was a very strong session 53. So that was Roxanne. Nana, who's been a member a while ago, says that one of the many things I appreciate from you and Ria is the closeness and intimate personal relationship you give all your clients. So many spiritual teachers out there with many pre-recorded video, and you can't get answer when you have questions. I'm glad and blessed to have found you. And we've got lots more beautiful feedback. But guys, this is the time for you. Have you got any questions whatsoever about the Quantum Club, about protection, about techniques? I am happy to be here for a little bit more to answer any of these questions. But I can't see many. I just see lots of love, lots of light. So I will be very, very, very happy to work with you further if you feel called to do so. As I said, the whole thing is what you've got included is here on the screen. Maybe the link is obscuring it a little bit more, but the whole thing is $111. So I think it's an amazing opportunity for you to develop your skills. If you feel called, then join us. If you have any questions, you can reach to me privately. But so far, I want to thank you for today's transmission. I want to thank you for actually learning the very unpopular subject of spiritual protection and technique. Feel free to share this live with anybody who may need it, especially the empaths. And please practice your consciousness tempo. Go back within whenever you want to. Even go through it again right after this transmission, so that you can feel what it feels like to be in your own pure sovereign frequency. Sending you lots of love, lots of light, and thank you so much for joining me in this training. Thank you for your beautiful energy and enthusiasm. Sending you lots of positive energy, and stay safe in the quantum field. Bye-bye.